lead me to a color that's a thing. I don't know how you house the sin, but you're free now. I was never sure how much of you I could let in. Am I free now? Won't you settle down, baby? Here love has been. Heavenly Father, it's defiantly lava. Why you don't carry other names?
Heard about the day where we dropped a note to go another day as we learn to close.
Cause I'm a known coward and a coward win.
But you're free now.
You turn around now and you count to 10.
To see you go now.
Well, I know now, honey, that I can't pretend. Heavenly Father, it's been brought to his Sodom, and love is left in men. I've just been up here for goddamn years.
Can you see now?
Filling up holes with goddamn fears.
I am free now.
Well, I know about it, darling, I've been standing here. Heavenly Father, it's all that he offers, a safety in the end.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness to show.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause to Canal Scooter. Come on, boy. Clap it up. There you go. Then I can say, welcome to the 20th Annual Student Peace Prize. And no response? Hello. Woo! What, are you sleeping? How are you guys doing? You doing okay? You fine? Yeah? Okay, we'll do better. We'll do better. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Marcus Bailey, and I'll be your host for tonight. Quite honored. Yeah. I'm quite honored. It feels pretty cool. I must admit, when I got the call, I was pretty stressed, because let's be totally honest. Like everyone here in this room tonight are like the free thinkers, the new leaders of the world tomorrow, just good people. Like, you're good people. If you come to the Student Peace Prize, you're a good person. I mean, you have some good in you. While I'm, I mean, I'm a good guy. It's just like I haven't done anything to like change the world. I play FIFA and eat burgers. So I really admire you. Like you're admirable people. I guess eating burgers and playing FIFA is quite peaceful, but you know. Not trying to compare. Another thing that I was quite stressed for is that today's event is in English and it's international. And I know you're thinking, you're looking at me, he's like, why, Marcus? You're a tall, handsome black man, look like Denzel Washington on stage. All right. Why would you be stressed? It's just that, I don't know if you guys have this feeling, but when you're not speaking and I'm half American, which is pretty, another factor. But still, when you're not speaking your native tongue, I get stressed. I don't know if you've been at a party and you're like, people are speaking English, and someone goes by, like, hey, what's up? And you just go, oh, no, okay, English, I am, you are, he, she did this. And you're like, I've seen a lot of friends. I know Rachel and Joey. Just be like Joey. Be like Joey. How you doing? And then they're like, you're an idiot. And yeah, so that's a stress factor. So I thought to myself, how can I not speak English today? Yeah. And then I thought to myself, body language. The language which everybody speaks. And especially another thing I like to do is I like to dance. Dancing is one of my favorite hobbies. And if you think about it, dancing is like one of the best things when it comes to cultures and countries and everything. Everyone knows dance. So if I don't want to speak English, I can use my body language. And I thought to myself, maybe, just maybe, I could dance. And I could take this opportunity to make the official Student Peace Prize dance. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, clap, thanks. So, this is gonna be interesting. So I thought to myself this, okay, let's do this. What I want you to do is I want you to join me, of course, because dancing by my own, I'm not Robin. So we're gonna try to, thank you, good response. So I want everyone to just stand up. Yep, I can't see you, but stand up. And we're gonna do one move. I don't know if you guys know who Usher is, but like when I was young, he had a thing that was like, peace out, A-Town. I was like, that's cool. And I thought to myself, like, peace prize, peace up, A-Town. So one move, we're gonna go. Don't make me laugh. We're gonna go peace up, and we're gonna go from side to side like this. Yes, we're a Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air right now. Let me see everyone do it. We're gonna go peace up. Now, okay, nice. That's the first move. The second move is about love, because love is important, and the most important thing is to love yourself. So we're going to do a move where you just want to like just put love all over yourself. You're just gonna drag love like this. It's gonna just flutter love all over yourself. Let me see. Can I see you flutter some love all over yourself? Are people fluttering? Yes, great. That's the other move. So it's peace, and then flutter love. And I thought, okay, I need a third move. But I wasn't that creative. So, you. Hello. Hey, yeah, join. Kom on. Kommer upp? Är det så här trapp där?
Yes.
All right, okay, you're ready. When you go out dancing, do you have like a favorite move? In your boot, I was like,
You stole my move.
I stole your move?
Yes, this one was my move.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So let's do the next one. We'll go around.
Go around. Okay, because you know what? We need peace and love around the world. We would think we rehearsed this, but we did not. Absolutely not. All right, great. What we're gonna do, you wanna go down? You wanna stay up? You can do whatever you want. Okay. Someone likes the stage. If we can get some music, let's try this out. The official Student Peace Prize dance. Okay, people, you ready? Okay, just feel the music in your body a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's start now.
Pump up the jam,
let me see your
pump it
piece
up.
all over.
While your feet
feet are stumping.
Put the piece on, very good, okay. And then we're gonna go up to loving ourselves, all right? Now love yourself.
Pump it up a little more.
Love
Get
yourself.
the party going on the dance floor.
Love yourself.
See,
Where do you
'cause that's
love?
where the party's at.
All
You
around the
find
world, come on now. All right, I'm gonna do a little something that's not, I'm gonna check you guys. Let's see, wait.
Tonight, make my day. A place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. 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 Yo, pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd are jumping. Pump it up a little more. Get the party
All right.
going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's
Okay,
where
no,
the
because
party's at.
I'm
You can find out if you
Stop it, stop it. Stop it, thank you very much. Thank you. Big round of applause. I have, I need to work out. I like barely made it to the end. I was done. I was done. All right, well, now we have a good start. We can start this Student Peace Prize. I really can't breathe. Whew. Now, first we're gonna watch a clip, then later we will continue with the director of the Nonsense Center of Peace and Dialogue, Alfredo Zamudio, will come up here and speak to you. You're welcome. All right, enjoy.
I understand you, Marcos, about the mother tongue thing, so I will start in Spanish. Hola, buenas tardes. I cannot hear you. Is any Spanish speakers here? Hola. Salsa? No. My name is Alfredo Zamudio. I the privilege of working as the director for the Nonsense Center for Peace and Dialogue. And if you wonder why I have this funny name and this accent, is because I came from Chile as a refugee many years ago during the hard times of the military dictatorship. And Norway at that time was generous and opened the door and transformed my life and the life of thousands of people. I have been told I have 10 minutes, so I will not tell you about 45 years of my life in Norway. I would like to speak a little bit about hashtag just takes time. We are here to celebrate youth and the right to know and the right to get a place around the table and to make new tables, bigger tables for everyone who wants to study, to work, to lead, to participate. We are here to celebrate. And I want to tell you about the importance of slow and the impact of dialogue. Slow allows us to listen and to reflect. Dialogue allows us to listen to the uncomfortable and to learn from it. In times of instant gratification and the impulses to know everything at the very moment we want to know, slow is disappearing as an acceptable social norm. And we are losing the ability to listen to what we don't know we may need. Many years ago, my grandmother, Indian from the Titicaca Sea, she left her village to go to Chile to find work, and she found love. She could not read nor write, but she was a storyteller. My father told me that all her stories started like this. It was a Wednesday, perhaps it was a Tuesday, but it was a nice day like today. When my father told me this, I was 12 years old, but I was hooked. I wanted to be like my grandmother, but first I wanted to become a Marine commando and an Olympic gold medalist. But the military coup changed all that. My father was arrested right in front of me. I became homeless, and I slept everywhere and nowhere, and I was always hungry, and you see that I eat a lot. I am 2.5 meters, so I have eaten a huge amount of food. And I slept everywhere and nowhere, I was saying, and I didn't go to school for some time. I was constantly hungry. One day I met a man on the street and he said, I know you. You are Alfredo's son. Come with me, I have something for you. And I was afraid of him. I have heard about what could happen to little boys who were on the streets. He said, come. He went to his home. He came out from his very poor house and he gave me something like $20 and he said, take this. Leave this country and come back and show them that they are wrong. I was 12 years old when someone that I didn't know trusted me, and I thought I could become someone. When I was invited here, I thought of the feeling of looking inside people's home at that time. I saw people having a meal, enjoying themselves, while I was outside, looking inside, having nothing. But at that time, I didn't feel anger. I was not angry, hateful, but I longed to share something of what they had. If we look at the world today, you will see millions and millions of children and young people standing outside, looking inside to where you are. People ask, what do we need to bother? What is something of our problem? What is happening in the world today? Every human life, from the moment we are born, we live a life in connections with other people. The number of connections make the social fabric strong. If we don't meet each other, that social fabric is weak. And today, as we see the world today, in the many threats and risks that we have in front of us, climate change, hunger, violence, radicalization, the anti-vax movement, all of these threats are affecting people's lives. And we need to have a strong response to that. We need everyone around the table. We need many tables. We need every one of us. Many years ago, men said to themselves and to everyone, we men can make decisions on behalf of 100% of humanity. We are 50% of humanity and we can make decisions for women too. Women could not vote, could not be an engineer. Is any engineer here? No? Oh my goodness. Women could not become soldiers, could not become leaders because men said so. 50% of humanity made decisions for 100% of humanity. How stupid was that then? How stupid is it not today that we are trying to solve some of the most complex problems in humanity's history, and we are excluding people from the knowledge table. I would say #fail, if you could say that. What can we do better? We need dialogue. What is dialogue have anything to do with this? People ask me, what is the difference between debate and dialogue? Debate is about your voice being heard. You need that. Human rights needs that. Dialogue is making the room and the space for the other's voice. And then you choose which one is most useful for you to learn from, your own voice or the voice of others. If we understand that dialogue is not accepting, forgetting, forgiving, or accepting the unacceptable, but just learning, we may understand how many talents and millions of talents are out there. Dialogue allows us to create trust. Trust allows us to have collaboration. Collaboration can allow us to make better public policies. Therefore, we need dialogue in society today. I have been thinking a lot of this thing called blockchain. And then one day I woke up in a moment of brilliance and I thought, dialogue is like blockchain. Nobody knows how it works, but it depends on millions of pieces and bits. Everyone is important and nobody is important as many as the whole. It has a beginning and an end. And there is a scarcity of it. There is scarcity of dialogue and there is a scarcity on trust in today's world. This is a serious issue. It's about surviving of the human species. If we don't learn from the past, as Santana said, we are doomed to repeat the fails of the past. There is a need to take it slow. There is a need to listen because we can learn. And therefore, I say to you, Grandmother Marcelina, it was a Tuesday, or it could be a Wednesday, but it was at ISFIT and at a student prize festival. It was a beautiful day like today when we all said, we need more people around the table on knowledge. Thank you.
Please keep your applause for Alfredo Zamudio. Great. We're soon going to be witness to some beautiful music, but before that, I want to try a little musical game. Yeah. I need two people to play with. Does anyone want to come up here and play? Anyone? Yeah. Kurt, come! Or come, as you say in English. Great. That's one. We need one more. There you go. Yeah, great. Woo! Round of applause. You got it? There you go. Thank you very much. And my man, here you go. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get a microphone here. And your name was, sir?
Tyler.
Tyler, and
Amal.
give them a round of applause. All right, come over here. You can stand. Yeah. Nope. Wait. Let me think about this. This is good. Okay. Yeah. Stand there. Right there. Okay. We're gonna do a game where I'm going. This is going to be interesting as well. I am going to sing or hum a peaceful, nice, well-known pop song, and you two, this is a competition, have to run up here to this microphone and you can say the song or you can sing it. You might get a bonus point if you sing it. Does everyone get the game? Do you guys get the rules? Yeah. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. I'm a very good hummer.
We are the ones who make a brighter day.
Yes! Great! All right. 1 point. The games have begun. That was a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Tyler, you ready?
I'm focused.
Okay.
Beatles, let it be.
Nope.
No.
Go back. But nice try. Who said that?
Imagine it's backstage.
And backstage gets 1 point. Great. Very good. Very good. Okay. They cheated. They used this for them. Okay, this one, I don't know if it's peaceful, but try. Everything is gonna be all right. Oh, yes! Woo! That is great. Okay.
Can I get some team members up?
Yes, you can actually. Get some team members up. He needs the help. Yep. All right. Okay. Pow, 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 pow. I'm just kidding. It's not. Very good. That was right. Okay. My time's actually up, but this was so much fun. We're gonna do one more. You know what? This is so unfair, but the one that gets in that wins. Life isn't fair. You guys know.
Baby, I love you. I love
Go back. You better sing that song right.
Baby, don't hurt me.
No.
Don't hurt me. No
No more. One more time. What is love? Everyone. Baby, don't hurt me. Everyone. Don't hurt me. No more. Woo! Great. Very good. Give them a round of applause. You can go now. Great. Good sportsmanship. Great people. All right. Woo. Worked up a sweat. Now for some real music. The Student Society Symphony Orchestra is now, yeah, woo some more. It's gonna be great, yes. They are ready and they are led by, conducted, is that right? Conducted, is that the English word? Yeah. Conductor Gavin David Lee. You're welcome. Okay. Now, I know I talk like you people, that sounds like a wrong way to start a conversation. But I was talking about how I admire you because you are people that do so many good things for the world. And I was thinking to myself, I have a couple of skills as well. Stalking. I'm a good stalker, which sounds bad, but is anyone a good stalker here? Like on Facebook and such? No one wants to admit that. Weird. Well, so I thought I would try to challenge myself. So for our next speaker, that I would try to stalk all the information out of her to see who she was as a person. Now, what I found out was that she loves the movie The Notebook. Yeah, we all do. Ryan Gosling. She also enjoys Moulin Rouge. This is international these days. But she also enjoys TV shows such as South Park and The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Yeah, pretty much like the South African version of me. Yeah. But one thing that I thought was very interesting, that she publicly, on her Facebook page, likes Nickelback. Yeah. I like that. I respect that. That's nice. She's been a student host of the student show Satiricon here. A friend of mine actually worked with her before. Yes, I've quite some information about you. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it all though. But she's also the leader of the Student Peace Prize. So let's give a big round of applause to Ingeborg Griegheim.
Thank you, and thank you, Marcus. That could not have been any more embarrassing. So now my speech will be fine, I think. I thought the worst part was dancing, but I guess not. Dear participants, dear volunteers, dear guests, dear laureates of the Student Peace Prize, and dear FASIA. Welcome to tonight and to this celebration of students fighting for peace, democracy, and human rights. Tonight we are celebrating students from all around the world, the students who are never giving up. We are celebrating the students in South Africa, and we are celebrating Fasiya Hassan. For the last 20 years, the Student Peace Prize has been awarded on behalf of all the students of Norway to students fighting for a better world. Since 1999, have the Student Peace Prize shed a light on the students fighting in the dark. We're also honoring and celebrating the work of the students from all around the world, together with FASIA. FASIA is one of many young leaders pushing for change, and she's well within a strong tradition. Sitting here in this hall tonight, we are joined by students who has led the fights for democracy and human rights, both globally as in their nations. They showed us how students are the first ones to take to the streets for social injustice. As the students who rose up together with Ayat, the laureate of 2015, standing up in the Pearl Square of Bahrain reciting a poem. Like Hajer, the laureate of 2017, who works to rebuild a nation torn apart by war, and ASEU for seeking non-violent solutions to the long-lasting conflicts in Colombia. And Antero, the laureate of 1999, the first one, he received the award for his leading role in the student uprising against the brutal Indonesian occupation of Timor-Leste. And to this day, he works for students' rights and academic possibilities in the very young nation of Timor-Leste. What all these students share is a belief, hope, and a will to change the world. But students are also the first ones to be met with violence and oppression. When met with tear gas and guns and violence, we answer with poems, songs, and unity. Students are imprisoned without a sentence. They are tortured and they are killed because we are peacefully changing the world. For the ones who fear justice, students are very scary, because we can and we will change the world. Students are also the first ones affected by failing democracies, corrupted institutions, and social injustice. Because we are the students, we are the ones who have to live in the future that we are creating today. We can't stand by while an unfair world is being created, because we are the actually ones that has to live in it. Therefore, students fighting for a better world is necessary. We need to be a part of the decision making. Our contribution is invaluable. Therefore, we need to place a bet on the students, and we need to place a bet on our education systems, our futures. Education is the road out of social injustice. It is the road out of poverty, and so it is our key to peace. For years, the world leaders have met in political, economical, and environmental forums deciding the future of our planet. Who was not included? Whose voices were always ignored? It was ours, the students and the youth. But change is imminent, because we are the change makers. Look around you for a minute, and who do you see? As I stand here, I see a room filled with students and youth. But more importantly, I see friends. I see sisters and brothers across nationality, ethnicity, religion, language, faith, across borders. As nations are isolating themselves and strengthening barriers, we, the youth, are opening them even wider. We in this hall are creating something quite unique, because we are creating hope, hope for a brighter future. We are breaking down the barriers. But because we will not achieve a peaceful world if we don't see across these borders, across religion, across ethnicity, and across race. We need understanding and compassion, and we need human rights, and we need us students. We need all of us in this room. We are celebrating and honoring these exceptional students, but remember, at one point, they were also just reading and learning in a lecture hall. They were simply students. What we are celebrating today is how they acted when they were faced upon this great injustice. They worked, they fought, and they called for justice. Like Nobel laureate Tawakkol Karman said in the beginning of ISFIT19, we the students, we have a great task in front of us. And we have a difficult title to bear under, because we have to change the world. To build a world without walls between people, without labels to struggle under, a world where ideas can be expressed and dreams can be fulfilled. And like this year's laureate, Fasiya has taught me, standing together across borders will change the world. We have to unite the world's youth and students. As I started with, students are fighting in the dark. So I want to thank you all for being here and shedding light on their struggle for a better world. Because for today's global challenges, we need a young global voice. Students of Norway have to stand with the students of South Africa, like the students of Burma has to stand with the students of Colombia. We are all young people on the same globe, demanding a peaceful, common future. Our challenges cross borders, and so we have to solve them together. Remember that we, the students, we are the bravest, we are the fairest, and we are the leaders of today. And we can change the world. Peace is not easy, change is not easy, but it is worth fighting for. So thank you all for joining me here tonight, and thank you, Fasiya, for your inspiring work, and to all of you gathered here honoring students changing the world. Thank you.
I'm up here, which means game time. I need now one lucky person to come up on stage. Who's it going to be? Oh, people are. Oh, right, there we go. Yes, our hero. If you need help, there's some stairs there, or you got it. You got it? No. It's up to you. It's around the court. Yeah, just go in there. Yeah, they'll guide you. This is gonna be fun. Come on, come on. Yes, give her a little round of applause. And your name was?
Taya.
Taya. Okay, Taya. I was standing here before and I was talking about how dance and body language is one of the most peaceful ways you can speak to each other. Yeah, I love the way you're just agreeing. I'm gonna do a little test now. No, me too. Don't worry. It's gonna be that we're gonna dance. We're gonna have, instead of a dance battle, we're gonna have a dance debate. So I'm wondering, do you have any political things that you really fight for, or anything that you're like what, for example?
I'm a feminist.
You're a feminist. Great. Yeah. Give it up. This is gonna be so much fun. All right, so we're gonna debate feminism. I'm gonna be against. Okay. And then you're gonna be for. And we're gonna debate each other, but it's gonna happen through a dance battle. This has never been done before. This is historical. So what we're gonna do is like a typical dance battle. I can stand on this side of here, and you can stand there. We're gonna dance against each other, and we can't use words, just our bodies, and just debate. You're gonna be pro-feminism, and I'm gonna be against feminism. Okay. All right, this is gonna be interesting how it goes. We're gonna need some music. Do you have any music? Okay. I'm against feminism. I hate feminists. Okay, wait. You ready? We're gonna do this. Another round of applause for Taya! Woo! Great. Thank you. Yes, my clitoris is quite large. Okay, that was a bad joke. Now for our next speaker. Please welcome from the Norwegian Students and Academics International Assistance Fund. That's a long word. Bjarte Øgård! What's that?
Dear students, dear international guests, dear people of Trondheim, dear laureates, and dear Fasiya Hassan. 16th of June 1976 marks a historic day. It was the beginning of the end of apartheid. During the Soweto uprising, around 20,000 pupils and students were in the front. Hand in hand, they demonstrated non-violently in a response to the introduction of Afrikaans as a teaching language. Many were shot, injured, and killed by South African police forces. 27th of April 1994 is another date of great historical significance, marking the fall of apartheid. In the struggle to get rid of a system that institutionalized racial segregation in South Africa, students were also at the forefront. Even Norwegian students were engaged in the significant international and national opposition that resulted into some of the most influential global social movements of the 20th century. Norwegian students channelized funds directly to liberation movements on the ground and organized large events and campaigns to show their support to South Africa. In 1999, the same year marking the very beginning of the Student Peace Prize, Nelson Mandela paid a visit to Norway, and he spoke of the power of international solidarity, which contributed to strengthen the fight for justice, and which reached through the prison walls, across the large distances of exile, and to the opposition who worked on the ground. Expectations were high after the end of apartheid, and young people expected equal opportunities to employment and education. A crucial challenge was to reform the education system, which was structured to teach Black students to serve in subordinate positions. Despite South Africa having one of the world's most progressive constitutions and ensuring the right to education, this unfortunately remains a right which is still on paper for many. In order to change structural inequality, a young Muslim woman and representative of the first generation that grew up after the fall of apartheid, Fasiya Hassan emerged as a prominent student leader, being a strong advocate for critical thinking and an important voice in the fight against inequality and for equal access to higher education in South Africa. 12th of October 2015 marks the first day and the beginning of the student movement Fees Must Fall, initiated as a response to a rise in tuition fees in Hassan's university, Witwatersrand. The continuously rising tuition fees were a widespread issue in South Africa, and the movement quickly spread to other universities in the region. Students that could not pay were kicked out, and many students could not even afford textbooks or food. So Hassan and a small group of co-students decided to literally close the gates of higher education. They created a sit-down to block the access to the university for everyone. And after a few hours, they were several hundred students. And after a few days, they had grown into thousands. By the following Monday, every institution of higher learning in South Africa was shut down. They all united behind the movement's overall goal of ensuring equal access to higher education for all and for breaking down racial inequalities in the South African educational system, but also in society in general. And Fees Must Fall was the biggest mass movement that has been seen in South Africa since the fall of apartheid. The movement is a clear example of how nonviolent protests can have a significant impact. In our effort to change a system that favors the white and the privileged, Hassan has proposed concrete economic and structural solutions to policymakers. And after prolonged pressure from the student movement, the former South African president, Jacob Zuma, announced on the 16th of December 2017 that the state would work towards free higher education for all. And in the beginning of 2018, youth coming from low-income households were granted free education. And although the Fees Must Fall movement has achieved many of its goals, the peaceful protests did come at a high price. The government was scared that the movement would be hijacked by an agenda of regime change. And the police used tear gas and shot rubber bullets at the students, unprovoked. Despite this, Fasiya and the majority of the protesters continued to use non-violent methods in their struggle. The strength to fight oppression and violence without resorting to the same means signifies an admirable devotion to the path for peace. The student movement are still active in holding their government accountable. Since 7th of February this year, South African students have initiated and mobilized demonstrations and shutdowns of universities again. This has happened after thousands of students have been denied to register to enroll for a semester start due to their large student debts. It is clear that the struggle is still ongoing to ensure equal access to higher education and that the South African students are still in the forefront. The struggle of Fasiya Hassan and the Fees Must Fall movement has a reach far beyond South Africa and stands as an inspiration for us all. And throughout this speech, I have mentioned several dates and historical events from the past. But in my humble opinion, I do believe that we are gathered here tonight to continue writing history. On behalf of the Student Peace Prize Committee 2019, which has been chaired by me and consisted by the following members: Torunn Tryggestad, Sven Mollekleiv, Bjørnar Moxnes, Gro Lindstad, Rebekka Ringholm, Jone Troborg, Håkon Randgar Michaelsen, and Kai Steffen Østensen. It is a great honor for me to award the Student Peace Prize 2019 to Fazia Hassan. May our common fight stay strong to ensure fair and equal access to higher education. And may this reinforce and strengthen the solidarity bond between Norwegian students and South African students. Dear Fazia Hassan, we congratulate you as the 11th Student Peace Prize laureate. And we welcome you into the ranks together with the former laureates and with fellow student leaders, who all, like you in their efforts, have shown that student voices cannot be ignored, and that students again and again pave the way for change, and that they stand in front demanding peace, democracy, and human rights, and that students are successful in creating history. I would now like to welcome up the former laureates on stage, as we'll have the 20th Jubilee this year, to join me in awarding the Student Peace Prize 2019 to Fazia Hassan. And please give a warm welcome to Ingeborg up on stage again, and a very warm and heartily welcome to our Student Peace Prize laureate 2019, Fazia Hassan. So please give a warm welcome to Fazia Hassan, as she will have her speech as the laureate of the Student Peace Prize 2019.
To the President of ISFIT, Tyler Stewart, the Peace Committee, former laureates of the Student Peace Prize, the SPP team, ISFIT volunteers, all the participants, and other distinguished guests. Good evening. I'm a little bit ill, so you'll forgive my croaky voice. I'm going to do my best. So hopefully we'll get through to the end without losing my voice. The history of South Africa has seen education being used as a tool of exclusion, whether it was by the colonizer or by the apartheid regime. Education was reserved for the rich white elite, while black students were subjected to the Bantu education system. This Bantu education system was designed to systematically exclude and disempower people of color. Hendrik Verwoerd, one of the architects of the brutal apartheid regime, when asked about the Bantu education system, infamously said, "What is the use of teaching the Bantu child mathematics when he cannot use it in practice?" Black students were not taught mathematics, history, or science. Instead, they were forced to learn subjects like gardening or housework, as these were deemed by the oppressive apartheid regime to be worthy for black people. It was on the 16th of June, 1976, that black students in South Africa took a firm stand against the Bantu education system and the use of Afrikaans, the language of the oppressor, as a medium of instruction. Hundreds of thousands of students took to the streets in protest, and the apartheid police showed them no mercy and massacred over 1,000 children in cold blood on the streets of Soweto on that day alone. Almost 40 years later, on the 14th of October 2015, and continuing out throughout 2016 and 2017, South African students mobilized and took to the streets in the fight for access to education in a post-democratic South Africa. But this time around, the fight was to remove the barriers to entry for poor students who were being systematically denied tertiary education due to high university fees. And thus, the Fees Must Fall movement was born. But security forces clamped down, and our universities became militarized, representing war zones. Students were treated as enemies of the state and faced the wrath of those in opposition to Fees Must Fall. We choked on tear gas. Our ears were deafened by the sound of the stun grenades. We felt the sting and the pain of the bullets. We witnessed mass arrest and mass student victimization. The losses suffered are too many to count. But we did it all in the name of a free, quality, and decolonized education. As recently as last week, a student was killed by private security forces who opened fire with live ammunition. I would therefore like to take a moment of silence for all the South African student activists who are currently serving prison sentences, and for those who have suffered and died in the fight for a free, decolonized education. Fees Must Fall became, and still is, the largest social movement in a post-democratic South Africa. The movement was born in a South Africa that was becoming increasingly disillusioned with the prevalent corruption in the country and the deferment of the Freedom Charter and the dream of a South Africa where the doors of education and learning would be open to all. A dream that Nelson Mandela himself championed. From that moment on, it was like we had lit a spark in a fireworks factory. It was incredible how much support we received from all sectors of society, from the trade union movement to captains of industry. It is therefore with pride that I tell you that in December 2017, the then President of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma, after 2 years of intense struggle and sacrifice from the student movement, announced the abolishing of university fees for students with an annual family income of below 350,000 Rand, or $30,000. But even now, the struggle for equitable access to education in South Africa continues. Our struggle is not just about abolishing fees. It is about restructuring our education system so as to reflect our African background and ethos. It is about ensuring that no student goes hungry. It is about ensuring that all students have access to suitable accommodation and are not forced to sleep in computer labs, in libraries, or even in bathrooms. It is about ensuring that no student is systematically excluded from access to higher education due to their economic or language background. Fees Must Fall is a lot more than just fees. Fees Must Fall gave agency and voice to so many unheard and disenfranchised narratives. Students shared their stories of overcoming poverty through education. It brought to light the challenges faced by Black academics. It reignited the national conversation and calls for decolonization of society and the higher education space. When patriarchy attempted to rear its ugly head in the movement, we fought and created space for Black radical feminists to lead. In many ways, the student movement also gave victims of sexual violence and rape culture the courage to speak up about their trauma. Fees Must Fall sparked a fire in young South Africans to challenge the status quo and to confront the notion that we are so-called born free. Since the dawn of democracy, we were led to believe that all South Africans had fair and equal opportunities via our constitution. However, it has become clear that while South African people may enjoy political freedom, the harsh reality is that the economic liberation and equal access to resources and opportunities is not present. Unaffordable and exclusionary higher education that targets poor Black students in particular is but one example of this misrepresentation. I cannot stand here without acknowledging every single Fees Must Fall activist who is currently facing university suspension, court processes, and most importantly, students who are serving prison sentences. Kanya Sitreshe is serving an 8-year sentence for his involvement in Fees Must Fall. We must never forget his name. We continue our calls for presidential pardon for Kanya and wish to say that students like Kanya put themselves on the front line so that they could have a future, not so that their future could be taken away from them. I also cannot stand here without acknowledging the contribution by hundreds of thousands of South African students, workers, academics, labor unions, civil society, artists, faith leaders, professionals, and of course, every single South African who stood by us when our calls fell on deaf ears in universities and in government. The Student Peace Prize 2019 belongs to every single one of them, who in some way or the other put themselves on the line in the fight for free, decolonized education. This Student Peace Prize also represents a fundamentally important recognition of the legitimate fight for accessible education, not just in South Africa, but the world over. I therefore wish to thank ISFIT and the Student Peace Prize for recognizing the Fees Must Fall movement. This award belongs to all South African students who successfully fought for and are currently still fighting for free and equal education. I wish to also thank my parents who are here in the crowd tonight, who played a huge role in cultivating the person that I am today. I know it is not an easy task having me as a daughter, but your continued and unwavering support has been the ground beneath my feet. And now I wish to leave you with some parting thoughts and a call to action. Internationally, we have seen a growing wave of right-wing and conservative governments come to power. It is almost as if we are witnessing the world go backward. And as young people, we cannot be caught off guard. We no longer have the luxury of organizing in silos or organizing on our own, just as South Africa or Colombia or Libya. The time has come now to gather our voices and shout as one. The time has come to focus our efforts and to mobilize into one global student voice. We have all seen injustice and pain take place around us. We have tasted the tear gas and the rubber bullets. We have fought in the singular, but now we must fight as a collective on a global level. As young people, we must put ourselves at the center of decision-making. We can no longer wait for a seat at the table. We must create the table ourselves. We're not the leaders of tomorrow, we're the leaders of today. The fight for a public, free, and decolonized education continues. I thank you.
Another round of applause for Fasiya-san and this Fees Must Fall movement. Keep it going. I would like to thank everyone that's been here today. Speakers, thank you for being amazing. I know I've been clowning here a lot and dancing on stage like a buffoon. Thank you for dealing with that. Now, before we say goodbye, I would like to give you a little treat. It's one of the most respected dance companies in Norway. Give a round of applause for Tabanka!
Marcus Garvey family, ancestors no leave me. Naya Bingi, Bobo Shanti. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ay, 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 ay. Hey, hey, hey. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ay, 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 ay. Hey, listen, the blood of African kings run in my vein. Here in Jamaica, rebellious offspring. We've got a warrior spirit inside. From that time, we can't change. And this a warrior spirit inside. It come from break every shackle and chain. Manashaka Zulu, Bidney, and Kuma, Bidney, Kunta Kinte, Bidney. Just like Malcolm and Martin and Marcus and Fiery, Kuma, Bidney, Vela Kute, Bidney, Kunta Kinte, Bidney. Just like Yavi and Marley and Fiery. Look how many years them whip with. That's when they whip our microchip with. And the dirty Babylon style of fit me. Buckle it out, come make we get to with victory. Them fight my brother and sister. And when we are dance, them say we're moving sinister. When all we do is love with culture. I beat the drums and we are chase the vultures away. Mana Shaka Zulu, Bindi, Paul Bogle, Bindi, Lulumba, Bindi. It's like Martin and Malcolm and Marcus and Fiery, Yavi, Bindi, King Selassie, Bindi, Mandela, Bindi. It's like Marcus and Martin and Fiery. The thoughts of freedom fighters dwell in my brain. Stolen from Africa, the mission is still the same. We've got a warrior spirit inside. It's well wild, it can't tame. And this a warrior spirit inside. It come to break every shackle and chain. And them a try brainwash me. Rise we mind the meditation dirty. They never tell we say black is beauty. Me nah go bleach, me say me nah dilute it. No, hey you search your history. Break the puzzle, come make we solve the mystery. Hey, a Solomonic dynasty from the line of David. What a priceless legacy. Manashaka Zulu, Bigni, and Kuma, Bigni, Kunta Kinte, Whitney. It's like Malcolm and Martin and Garvey and Fiery. Nanny, Whitney. Sam Sharp, Whitney. Bujuneke, Whitney. It's like Martin and Marley and Garvey and Fiery. Fiery, fiery, fiery.
I will wait in the morning if you call, and I'll stand beside you long as I can. I will hold back the evening of your sun, but I won't crumble with you if you fall. I will shadow the heat of your day, and I'll drink from the sweat of your brow. I will walk to the tune of your song, but I won't crumble with you if you fall. Come walk with me and hold to my hand. Touch me, let me know I ain't here by myself. Stretch my night dreams into my day. Stop short of falling apart if I go down. I'll wake in the morning if you call, and I'll stand beside you long as I can. I will hold back the evening of your sun, but I won't crumble with you
Mubu ni luanya. Muku sotongolo ya kisua. Pala kubana. Oshi dengesha. Oshi pangisha. Mama! Oshi dengesha. Oshi pangisha.